why people are comfortable not pursuing entrepreneurship as a career or journey. It is important we explore some major psychological, social, and practical reasons behind this decision. Many people love to be in their comfort zone. They don't even want to try something. And this might be because of the fear of unknown. You know, the fear of failure have already hindered a lot of people's progress. And for that reason, they don't even want to take action. They are very comfortable. They are okay with whatever space that they find themselves. Maybe they are working for people. Maybe they are doing one thing or the other. They find it difficult to think beyond that current moment. Because entrepreneur is a calling that everybody's supposed to. Either you are big, you are small. Entrepreneur is supposed to be a thing that everybody needs to embrace. That way, we can be able to secure a better legacy, a better life-changing things, and have a better freedom for ourselves. But many people love to remain in their comfort zone. And for that reason, they choose to work for an employer where paying them little to no value on their time. And this is the one killer thing in almost everybody's life, especially those who refuse to embrace the entrepreneur calling because they are not sure if the future is guaranteed. They believe that they don't want to fail. But one thing they're supposed to know is that regardless of either they want to fail or not, what if their comfort zone that they have now, let's say they're working for an employer decide to let them go or sack them or write them off, or they do something or the other in the workplace that violates the rules and regulations of the company. Won't they fail? Now they will start from square one again. One of the things that when I look at people who refuse to embrace entrepreneurship, and many of all these, sometimes they just think maybe it's not going to work out. They are very okay with the little salary or with any amount of salary that they are earning from an employer. And that makes them just stick, especially when employer offers benefits in terms of 401k, 403b, Roth IRA, dental vision. Many people are being derailed. Many people forget that one day they will equally so going to retire. And if they retired, where do they want to start from? And that is number one thing that keep a lot of people from starting. They are very okay with everything that they have right now, forgetting that tomorrow is going to ask them, why didn't they take an action? That is why we need to embrace this calling, either as a journey or as a career. Because no employer is going to be there to look after you in your old age. And don't forget, you only make little to penny worth of your time. And I've seen some people who have worked in a company. Hey, don't get me wrong, that it's not good to work in a company or to work for an organization. But regardless of that, you have to let that failure of not trying to do something on the side, you have to cancel that. You have to make every sacrifice to start something, even if it's small, because we are in this world to create value and to multiply. But if you are working, if you allow your failure, if you allow your fear to overweigh your potential, there's no way you're going to want to be multiplied. If you don't multiply, how do you want to reap bountifully? So this fear of how can I go from point A to B, we need to wake up and embrace the entrepreneurship mission. Because that is the only way that can give anyone, I say again, anyone financial freedom. Another one is, let's take for insecurity. Let's look at financial security and stability. These major factors also add value So major decision why people don't want to embrace entrepreneurship, because they are very okay with what they make right now. Probably they work for employer, probably they work for an NGO, either they work for a government. They are very, very okay. So the stability that the employer have already offered them will not allow people to step out from their comfort zone, to embrace this calling or this journey. And this might be some of the major reasons why people think that entrepreneur is not their way around. But let me tell you one thing. Do you want to work for 40 years and retire with nothing? Maybe your 401k or 403b, or you want to work for just 5 years. You dedicate 5 years and live a financial abundance. Now let's take for instance, you work for an employer or you work for an agency whereby they only pay you per the value that you bring on the table, compared to you working for yourself and you being paid based on what you want to pay, whereby nobody demand for your time, nobody demand for what you want, because the marketplace pay you based on your value. Now, if you have rendered all your hours of life serving an employer or doing one thing on the other apart from entrepreneurship, then my advice is that you need to take action, because if you don't do it now, there's going to be a time whereby the bills for you not doing now will surface. And that time, it might be very too late. So, embracing this beauty will be a way out. And as we said, the insecurities, financial stabilities that all these employers already provide, the financial stability that, okay, you work from Monday to Friday, you get paid. Then you already designed all your budgets. You already designed all your expenses, everything around about you have already been circled around that token that the employer pays you. But you know what? You want more than that. You don't even have to get better. But starting from somewhere will be a thing that you need to consider. As the employer already render this security that, hey, if you work for us from Monday to Friday, we give you your pay. We offer a stable security. Then the financial that comes to you is that regardless of anything, you going to get your pay on the payday, which is Friday, depending on your organization. Those type of psychological belief have made people not to even worry. They find themselves very comfortable, very fulfilled, and very okay in their space. Another thing that we can look into is lack of confidence. Many people don't even have confidence in themselves. Many people don't even have confidence in themselves. Talk less of embracing the calling of entrepreneurship. They are not confident enough. Either they can be able to bring something in the marketplace. They are not confident enough if they can be able to talk into people to buy what they have to offer. They are not even confident enough in themselves, whereby, can I? Should I? Can I be able to do it? Because for this reason of the confidence kills their momentum, and they find it difficult to do things that's going to serve them in the long run. So it is high time for people to embrace this entrepreneur and move out from their comfort zone, because one of the things that you need or someone need to embrace this calling is self-confidence. You must leave the doubt that, can somebody buy from me? Or will I be able to make it? You know, all those questions, all those doubts are one of the major things that cause people not to even take a step in the first place. And in order for us, or in order for anyone to break even, you must be able to have confidence in yourself, confident in your process, confident in your product, knowing that you are there to win. But if in the first place you cannot even defend your own doubts, then How do you want to embrace this calling? You won't be able to embrace the journey of entrepreneurship. And that becomes another major concern that we, the people, need to look into and shift out from our comfort zone. That way, we can be able to have a fulfilling calling as people. Some look at the lack of skills. They'll say, well, I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have what it takes for me to run a business. Well, if you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the skills, why can't you go and get a mentor? Why can't you go online and research? What is stopping you from finding the information that you need to start? What is it that is holding you back? If a training is going to take you 6 months, 1 year, man, look at the 6 months or 1 year that is going to take you to learn a trade or a skills compared to 40 years of serving an employers. 30 to 40 years of serving an employers. And even if you serve an employer, they're going to retire you. How much do they want to pay you at the end of the game? They only pay you little. And you know what? If you don't search, you can't get the answer. You must be able to search. You must be able to look for those things that you need, those skills that you need in order to take your calling to the next phase. But if you don't do that, now tell me, how do you want to have a fulfilling life? Do you want to keep working for people? Do you want to keep embracing the comfort zone that you have? Do you want to, regret at the end of the years? Now that you have the strength, now that you have the ability, and now that you have the power, the skills, everything is still there within you. Why can't you take the leap of faith and embrace this calling? It's either as a journey or as a career. Because embracing entrepreneur can literally reduce your hour of work. And that way, giving you a renounced retirement, early retirement. You don't even have to work till you get to 40, you get to 70 or 75 years or 72 years. You can easily retire at any time that you want as an entrepreneur because you're going to make an impact. But if you keep working for people or if you piling up all these concerns, then my advice to you is that you better do something, because when the bills surface, you will remember. That I say it. Well, that is if you remember. So, what does it take anyone to embrace this calling? Because everything that you need is in your fingertip. It's just the mindset. Because the mindset of lack of skills, make people not to take an action and make people to sit down in their comfort zone, knowing fully well that space is not going to even help them the first round. Now, what are they waiting for? Everybody need to bring a value in the marketplace. That is how you get really pay good for your time, for the humanity's sake that you have. And because if you don't, the employer are just there to pay you for what? The time, what? Or for the position, but not for you himself. And the only way that you can be able to escape these rats is embracing the calling of entrepreneurship. So, lack of knowledge skill is one of the greatest killer pain that make people to sit back and say, I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next time. Because they are not equipped enough. But they forget that they have all the resources that it takes. They have everything and everything. Another thing might be a social culture. Maybe we have seen in many people that it says that in their family, they don't do business. Especially part of Africa where I'm from, we have some set of people, they don't even like to do business. Why there's some set of people that they love doing business. Now, let's take a look at major inventors. They're entrepreneur. The visionary, they're entrepreneur. Speakers, they're entrepreneur. All these great people who invent things, they are entrepreneur. They bring things to the marketplace and they are well paid because the social factors affect them. Because they sat down and they think through, what can we do to bring value and get more paid? Then they're like, the only thing we can do is to just embrace the calling of entrepreneurship. All these great leaders, they're entrepreneur. They have multi different set of businesses. So if they can be able to do it, even there's some people, leaders, even without skills, but what they do is that since they know that they want to embrace this calling, they go fully and went to learn to get everything that they need, because they have seen beyond that the only way through for their financial freedom is through entrepreneurship, and there's nothing way, nothing less. So if they can do it, why not you? Why not me? Even some people don't even have a YouTube channel, talk less of even having a business, but they are very okay in working for other people. Those people that you are working for isn't someone that put that business together. So what is the bad thing if you do the same thing and employ more people? I think I'm getting too hyper right now, right? I need to slow down, because when we talk about this entrepreneurship, it hurts me real good when I see my own fellow people working for organizations, why they are paying them little to the value they're supposed to have as a human. Because nobody's supposed to design what you're supposed to make. The country is capitalist. Nobody should design what you're supposed to make as a human. And that is what we called embracing this calling or career is the number one thing you can ever do for yourself. Not only for yourself, but for your generation. So, if you have never, ever thought of that, you need to wake up from your slumber and let all us bring something to the marketplace, teach people, show people, transact, and do better, and get better paid, and live a dream that we have been thinking about. Another major concern that people always say is all about access to capital, lack of access to capital. I don't believe in that concept of you want to start something, but you don't have capital. Because if you really truly know that this particular calling you want to make an even, you will create that capital. Because they said, where your mind is, and they say, I take it again, they say, where your treasure is, that's where your mind lies. Let's say, for instance, you want to buy a car. Or let me ask, how many people have a car? Almost every single home in America, almost, but not all, almost every single home in America have a car. Even two, some even have three, some have four. Now, let's bring it down. How many people have phone? People can pay anything for cell phone, like iPhone 15. Some people may just decide to just even have the iPhone 15, which costs almost $1,000+. Now, here's the deal. The company will say, just pay $50 or $40 a month to be able to get this iPhone, and you pay for the rest of either 5-6 years or whatever. Now, if you want to go to an entrepreneurship and you say you don't have money, but you are working, what stops you from putting a little cent together and have a goal? Like maybe in the next 3 years from now, or in the next 2 years from now, I want to raise social amount of money. If it's $1,000 you want to raise, if it's $5,000 you want to raise, even if it's $10,000 you want to raise, set a goal and be committed to it. And once you set the goal, make sure that you keep that money for that period of time. 1 minute. Make sure that you set a goal and you commit to it in that savings. Then before you know, you will literally raise the amount of capital that you have been looking to start the business. So then you go ahead and look for this business, because you just save yourself a lot of breakthrough. People don't know what it takes to embrace entrepreneurship. People don't know what it takes to plan. Now, you say you don't have money. But what about those money that you spend on a daily basis for unnecessary things? Why can't you put it together? Why can't you save somewhere and have a goal, maybe in the next 5 years, or in the next 3 years, or in the next 2 years? I want to start something. And it's doable and it's achievable because we can raise money to buy a car. We can contribute, raise money to buy clothes, wares, everything that we use. Now, that is boiled down to the aspect of discipline. Because when you are disciplined enough, if you have a goal, you have a foresight about how your tomorrow wants to look like, you will do every single thing to make sure that you work it out. Because it does not pay to work for an employer. I hate to say this, but that's just the truth matter of the entire thing. Because employer will only pay for the position that they put out. And if you don't take it, a lot of people is going to take it. And if you can be able to manage to plan accordingly and raise this fund, the sky is the beginning. Then you start. You don't even need to be perfect. The idea is for you to just start. So the idea of you don't have access or there's no access for capital, which have become a major concern that is setting you back from embracing the entrepreneurship. Now, you can be able to discover that there's always resources in our palm. And in one of my books that I wrote is called The Founder's Art of Fortitude. This book talks about majority of things that you can use to, the majority of things that you can use to be able to have a last and successful business. This book is very powerful. As I said before, even if you don't know a way to start, it costs you nothing to get a mentor. Look into what type of industry that you want to embrace. Now, look for someone who you can follow, who you can reach out to, connect, join some communities, network. This is going to save you another 30 years of waste time with an employer. Because if an employer is going to retire you at the end of 40 years, and again, there's nothing even guaranteed when it talks about working for employers. Because employer can wake up tomorrow, they can downsize. You get me right? They can downsize. Let's say project finish, or let's say they run out of funds. Employer will send some people back home, and now you start from square one, looking for a job again. But as an entrepreneur, nobody's going to sack you because this is your business. That is where it becomes more interesting. So if you now say that you don't even have capital to start, hello, but you eat every day, you have 2-3 cars, you have TV, you watch TV, you watch Netflix, right? All those membership subscriptions. You can put them together and change your life and stop saying you don't have the resources when it comes to capital because you have all the proven process. You have all the tools. We need to wake up from our slumbers and embrace the calling of entrepreneurship because that is the way out. There's no two ways about it. There's nothing. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm telling you the real talk. You don't have to like it, which is normal. But I just have to tell you that when the bills come for you not taking the action, you will pay the price by yourself. Another thing, risk tolerance. Majority of people don't want to take risks. People are so much comfortable that they don't even want to smell or their risk tolerance is very low. Now, they say they want to start a business. Why should they deal with customer? Why should they deal with shortage of cash? Why should they deal with inventory? Why should they deal with customer service? Why should they deal with other people? Why should they do with buying and selling? What if they invest all their savings for the past 5, 2, 3, 4 years and boom, everything gone? The fear of unknown. But they don't know that as an entrepreneur, you must be able to take every risk. As a matter of fact, the risk takers are the entrepreneur. Okay, you say you don't want to take risks. What about the job that you are going to? You are working for employers. Don't you know that is the highest risk ever in the history? Because employer doesn't care about your safety in terms of family. What if you lose your job? Employer doesn't care. Who take care of you? Or if you have a family, or if you have it, who depends on you? Employer is none of their business. None of their business. Now, you now say that you don't want to take a risk. Do you just hear me loud and clear? The highest risk that you ever taken that you don't even know is working for people. There's no job security in that. Like now, nobody can sack me because I have my own business. I'm a consultant. Nobody's going to tell me that tomorrow don't work no more. Hell no. Hello. Then I record videos, I do YouTube stuff. Nobody's going to say, hey, you don't work here no. Hello. That is the beauty. It gives you job security. Do you hear me say it again? It gives you job security. I tell people almost every time, I say there is no safe job, safe employment as long as you are working for people. That's just a straight conversation. Either you have been working for an employer for 10, 15, 20 years, like I have my godmother, she's been working for this great company. I'm not going to say the name, for over 25 years. Then I asked, Mama, you need to retire. When are you going to retire? I said, well, she has been thinking about doing the business. I said, but you should have started now. Don't even wait for tomorrow. And it literally even tell me that someone has been working in the same with the same employer, and this person is supposed to retire like a month interval. He has worked for 39 plus years. And there's little thing that just occurred and he got fired. The day he said that, I said, what? It's just like a shocking conversation to me. Because how can someone work in a company for more than 39 years, sorry for my English, and just wake up and just get sacked? When she told me, I said, Mom, I said, then what do you have to say about that? She said, well, she has been planning. Now, she's not ready yet, right? She has been planning, thinking, to see how she can be able to put her business together very well, and then she can be able to quit or resign or request for a retired. I say, Mama, you need to do it now. And again, there's some people, we have a lot of people who are just not moved with some certain things. And again, situation do occur, circumstances is everywhere, but the only circumstances that you can afford that is very, very costly is for you not embracing entrepreneurship. So, if you're thinking about risk tolerance, that every entrepreneur embrace this type of risk, you should be considered about yourself, because you're working for people, you are the one that is taking the highest risk. Not even the entrepreneur who are doing their day-to-days and making decisions, changing people's life, living a dream that they have been dreaming of, doing the things that they want to do and changing the life that they want to change. They are not even afraid of the risk, because risk is their everyday food. But you never discover that you take the highest risk ever. And other people who said, well, based on their education's background, based on their calling, based on what they have learned, they are not sure if entrepreneur is the best bet for them. But do you forget that? You go to school, you forget that you went to school, you forget that you have already served all your time in academic settings. And even though they don't even really teach entrepreneur in school, which government's supposed to, or which they're supposed to put into the system so that people can learn stuff. But it's okay, right? But now, when you have, gone through schools, do everything, then you have spent years in school, and you come back, your employer just pay you little of no money. I wonder when people even make between $80,000 to $400,000 to $500,000, they even think maybe they have made money. No. And they are very comfortable. That kind of money, as an entrepreneur, you can turn the money that you make in a year. You can make that money in a month. Even depending on, your areas of calling, you can make that money within a day. So, why do you want to waste all those years, all those hours of work serving somebody, not you impacting the hours in your own self and better your future of your children, your family, your loved ones, and people around you? So this aspect of education, because in entrepreneur, we educate every day. There's a lot of training that you can join. There is a lot of things that you can belong to be able to, for you to get the education that you need. Like we have a program which is called Unlock Challenge. This program, we teach people want to go into entrepreneurship. Not only you teach, but you know how to make a renounced, life-changing calling or career. Not just only teaching alone, but we show you a lot of proving process. How you can triple whatever income that you have been making. The income that you have been making in a year, you can make it in a month in this program. You can make it even in a day. So when you're talking about education, there's a series of ways that you can go around it. So that shouldn't be an excuse, because if you don't do it now, you will be the person who is going to answer those things when the bills surface. So education shouldn't be anything like a barrier. Education should be a hard-earned something, like another layer of your entrepreneurial journey. As I said again, the satisfaction of cultural roles in terms of probably the settings that you find yourself, like white-collar job. All these people they believe that they have made it. They believe that nowhere, nothing less. And they are very satisfied, okay, with that space. Like an article that I read like 4 days ago. So this guy commented on a post and said, as an engineer, I make more than enough that I need for me and my family. So why should I be an entrepreneur? I don't want to deal with anybody. I just want to go and do my normal job and make renounced, very great money that I've been making. So why should I give myself a headache? I don't need to be an entrepreneur. I don't want that headache, because I'm satisfied, I'm okay. People are always okay in their space, especially when they're in some part of corporations or some part of, career level that, is societal recognized. They are very comfortable. People like that, they are very, very difficult to take the leap of faith, to even wake up from the slumber. And they consider all these entrepreneurs as people who don't even know where to go. But they forget that even the place that they are going to work for, even the place that they are working for, their employer is someone who put the ideas together, then giving them the opportunity to come and work under him. That's what they forget. Sometimes when I look into them, I was like, wow, really? Well, you only know now that you are doing good, you are doing okay, under the administration of the employers that you are with. What of tomorrow, if the employer say they don't need you no more? Or even if the employer decide and say they are going on bankruptcy, what do you want to say? You're going to look for another job again, right? And that's what happened. That's the corporate America. Because majority of these people who are especially well, I was once a corporate America. Then later I discovered, like, you know what? I need to quit. I need to because corporate America is not my calling. And it might not be your calling. It might be your calling. But for me, as a person, it's not my calling. So I don't blame people in the corporate America. Well, I have all the normal benefits that the employer offers, such as the retirement, such as the health insurance, the life insurance, but I think I need more than that. So if I need more than that, and the employer cannot even offer it, so if an employer cannot even offer it, how am I going to get it? And not only that, how can I be able to change people's life? How can I touch people? How can I impact people's life? Through my calling. So I can't accomplish that kind of process working for an employer. I need to find a way around it. I said, well, you know what? I think it's time for me to embrace my calling as an entrepreneur. And that is where I embrace entrepreneurial journey. So, and it has been so great. It has been going good. It has been so wonderful. It's one of the leap of faith that I will ever take in my life. So now, someone who is in the corporate America, but let's take for instance, it can be anybody. Don't just think that being in the corporate America and you cannot be able to embrace this. The calling is for everybody. So don't, settle for the societal role. You need to think beyond that and do things that is going to make you fulfill as people, as yourself, because it is good when we bring more value, we get more paid, and we enjoy all those great things that we have ever been thinking of. In corporate America, might be something that make you not to even worry about entrepreneur, because there's a level of stress. And people are like, okay, because of the health and stress conditions or considerations, maybe because of that, like, you know what? I don't like to talk too much to the customer. I don't like to do this to the people. I don't like to have to be managing teams. I have to be doing this. I have to do this and that. I don't want to challenge my health. I don't want to put my health on high. What if things doesn't go well with the resources, with the capital, with the vendors, with customers or lawsuits or whatever? I don't want to just think. I don't want high blood pressure. Yes, some people might be a very good concern. And for that reason, they say, let me just go to my office. Let me work for my corporate America. Let me work for my company. Let them pay me at the end of the week. Let them pay me at the end of the week. Entrepreneur is not my calling. Now, maybe get to some certain area, or as things goes, then things doesn't work well. Maybe the same corporate America or the same employer decided and say, hey, you know what? Your role or the type of work that we hire you for is no longer available. So tomorrow, please, we want you to submit your laptop and turn in all the company equipment, because we need to, reevaluate, the company process and all our, our vendors. Boom! Now your eyes is going to open. That same health consideration that you have been worried about now kick in. Then in the midnight, you will be looking for a job while other people are sleeping. You will be looking for a job when others are sleeping. Because you forget that you say you don't want to jeopardize your health, because you don't want to even embrace the entrepreneurial. But now, let me tell you, what if you discover and say, you know what, I've been working for this corporate America for a long time. It is time for me to step out from a comfort zone and do what I need to do and embrace this calling, this journey, while building my career in this industry. Because the only thing you can ever do for yourself is to discover who you are. And that, in our Unlucky Challenge, we allow people to discover their true identity, bringing better value to the marketplace by using the word, the golden key, the unique golden key, to unlock every single thing that you might ever think of. Either business, relationship, marriages, whatever thing. So, all this centers around entrepreneurial process. So, embracing entrepreneur is one of the things that you can do. And majority of things that keep people from not embracing this is the lack of faith, the lack of unknown. If at all you don't even remember anything, but the scare of unknown is one thing that leads to all the other things that keep people away from not embracing the entrepreneurship journey or career. If you know that this video have served you in one way or the other, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the doorbell for our new and latest content. Till then, stay blessed by the best. Peace.